Oh, hello everyone. I hope you're all well. It's Susie here from Esoteric Trading Solutions. I hope you're looking after yourself, being kind to yourself, being kind to your family, being kind to your friends, being very loving and kind to your animals, whether you've got a dog or a cat or a pussycat, and just being kind to people in the world, even if they're strangers, just to make this world a better place. Today I'm taking another look at Tron. Now, I did a report on Tron about 3 years ago, and I was very bullish Tron 3 years ago, and now I'm very bullish Tron right now. I think it's probably one of the most underrated cryptocurrencies out there, and it's just like this market. It prices things with no backbone, no business model, nothing, like MCO. That's a debit card which is priced well over $5, and seriously, it's just a bit of a joke, really. When things like Tron, for example, and Ripple have a real business case and just priced so cheaply, it's an absolute joke. So these are the reasons why I think Tron is one of the most undervalued cryptocurrencies out there. And someone, whether you like Justin Sun or not, the point of the matter is the guy is only not even 30, and he's certainly, in my mind, an extremely an accomplished young man. Some say he's lucky, some say he's a genius, but I'm more on the latter. I think this fellow, under 30, he's accomplished amazing things, and I think he's just incredible. And I think there's a lot of FUDD out there about Tron, and I think when you just look at the facts, you realise just how good Tron is in terms of the business model. So again, I'm quite bullish on Tron, particularly where the price is here at the moment. Not financial advice, this is just for my own portfolio. I'm not a financial advisor. You've got to do your own risk metrics and your own due diligence. You've got to look at your own risk return model and that sort of thing. So the token's TRX. Tron has its own mainnet. If you remember rightly, it was on the Ethereum mainnet in 2018. It went to its own mainnet in 2018. It was founded in 2017. It was out of China, but now they have offices in Hong Kong, the USA, Singapore, and San Francisco in the USA. It does have staking. The symbol is TRX. It's its own coin. It has fixed supply. It does have coin burn. Has escrow. It did have lockup. It's in the entertainment industry, but it is branching out mainly. It does have clients, professional clients, partnerships, investors, professional investors. The total amount of Tron was initially 100 bill. Now it's about 98.281 bill. Circulating is 66.682 bill. Offices Hong Kong, USA, Singapore, and China. Has business income. I would say in the industry it's in, it is best of breed. It's on the Tron network rather than Ethereum. Ethereum did have malicious attacks. Tron's had some problems, but they've been sorted out because Justin Sun was very clever. He basically put out $10 million to developers and hackers to see if they could hack the system of Tron. And if they did, they'd get $10 million. And I believe the coin does have utility, okay? It is utility coin on its platform. So this is pretty much from Crunchbase, and obviously a private company. It is for profit, and they have roughly about 202 employees. So what is Tron? Tron describe themselves on LinkedIn, which is a professional network for people, as Tron BitTorrent. They offer a fun, rewarding, challenging working environment that fosters creativity and diversity amongst team workers. They want to disrupt the status quo in the consumer media industry through computing, blockchain, and leading edge technologies. And that includes things like Facebook, which is centralized, any sort of social media type platform like YouTube, gaming, that sort of thing. So they're basically, what they're talking about here is, you know, things like BitTorrent. They were actually connected with BitTorrent because they bought BitTorrent, and they want to basically create decentralized type of social media and gaming type products. They are in other industries as well. They purchased Polynex and a few other things as well, which we'll go into later. So they're basically focusing on being truly decentralized and a truly decentralized internet. They've created their own blockchain. They were on Ethereum, as I said. and Ethereum, because it's proof of work, was likely to do about 13 transactions per second. But according to Tron's white paper and other updates, they can do anything from 1,000 transactions to 2,000 transactions per second, which is fantastic. They also have a platform now, and they also have smart contracts. Okay, so anyone can deploy decentralized apps on their platform. They are delegated proof of stake as well. And these guys, Tron, are actually getting more and more platforms on their system. Okay, now the founder is Justin Sun. He's very well known, whether you like him or whether you don't. There's a lot of FUD about Justin Sun. Some people think he's lucky. Some people think he's a bit of a performance artist. But I think he's an amazing young man, and I think he's done some incredible things with Tron. Okay, so the history is they're looking at decentralized entertainment social media platform on blockchain, and there's basically 6 long-term phases that Tron has set out. One being Exodus, basically building a free platform for peer-to-peer distribution, storage and content. Odyssey, introducing financial incentives to create content for creators, and consumers can go in there and that sort of thing. 3, Great Voyage, launching Tron native ICO capability. Apollo, enabling content producers to issue a personal token. Star Trek brings a decentralized gaming and forecasting platform. And an Eternity, aiming for further decentralization of the gaming industry. Okay, so these guys are doing an amazing amount of things. They're fairly ambitious, and they've got the infrastructure in place to do that, and they're actually doing more decentralized apps than EOS at the moment. Okay, so they've done incredible things as far as I'm concerned, and everything they said they were going to do in their white paper, they've actually done. Okay, and they've done it in the time period of about 2.5 years. Now, I looked at Tron 3 years ago and I thought it was a buy then. I think they're even more of a buy now. I'm quite bullish on them, but again, this is for me. You need to look at your own financial position, your own risk position, and that sort of thing. This is not financial advice. Okay, so the decentralized platform, they're looking at a decentralized platform on Web 4, and they do have quite a very powerful platform as such. Okay, so their problem statement is they wanted to change the way centralization is working with things like Facebook, and basically eliminate things like YouTube and Twitter, and actually make things decentralized and put it in the hands of people, you and me, and also in the hands of people that actually create things, rather than going through Facebook and Instagram, YouTube and Twitter, okay, which are the centralized social media platforms. The project feasibility of them, the proof is in the pudding. They've done amazing things, as I said, in the last 3 years. Okay, they're looking at the entertainment industry, and it's been estimated that by 2021, the entertainment industry itself will reach something like 2.2 trillion, one of the fastest growing industries in the world. Also, there's in the world about 3.5 billion or 4 billion out of 7.7 billion social media users. Okay, so with Tron there is massive potential as far as I'm concerned. With Tron you can upload pictures, content, videos, movies, all sorts of things. They're also in the gaming industry, okay, and they're big in the gaming industry, and the sector is estimated to reach growth of something like 300 billion in returns by 2025. Okay, so a lot going on with Tron. Honestly, amazing thing going on with Tron. As I said, they're off the Ethereum platform. They've created their own platform, which is basically delegated proof of stake, where you put up a stake, if you want to be one of their representatives and have a node as such. They can do a lot more than what Ethereum can. They do have smart contracts. They don't seem to have the problem that Ethereum had with smart contracts being hacked and that sort of thing. Tron did put up, as I said before, a $10 million prize for any hacker that could hack their system. And basically that was 100,000, and then Justin Sun, the founder of Tron, basically put up $10 million to see if anyone could hack their system. Now, they did acquire BitTorrent, which is an amazing acquisition. Neo were after that acquisition, but Tron got there before Neo. Neo were happy to pay another $50 million more for BitTorrent. I think Tron paid about 126 million. And then what they did, Tron, which I thought was very smart from Justin Sun's point of view, they monetized BitTorrent by bringing out their own coin for BitTorrent, BTT. So basically he got this acquisition for nothing, if you want to call it that. Now, BitTorrent has over 200 million clients and 170 million people a month were using BitTorrent, okay? Which in my mind is amazing, absolutely amazing. So they acquired BitTorrent and they put it into their own platform. And, you know, to me, the proof is in the pudding. Tron has done some incredible acquisitions and BitTorrent was one of them, and he actually monetized, as I said, BitTorrent. And basically, you know, with the cryptocurrency issuing a BTT, it basically paid for the acquisition of BitTorrent, okay? So they're up to their block, everything they said they were going to do on their roadmap, they've done. And honestly, you can see it in the technology when you look at Tron's technology, okay? Very, very amazing. I'm not going to go through all this, but generally, you know, the network generates one block every 3 seconds, and they can do anything from 1,000 to 2,000 transactions per second, okay? Now, Tron have up to 800 nodes as well, and that's getting bigger all the time. And if you have a lot of nodes, it's very difficult to for a hacker to launch a 51% attack, okay, on the network, because, you know, Tron has about 777 nodes or something like that, and is having more and more. They have their own virtual machine as well, and they employ all sorts of things, you know, to keep things going, okay? So it's a pretty good story. They have 27 super representatives according to Mazzari. Their product, their blockchain supports smart contracts written in Java, Python, and many other common programming languages. I've heard that it's actually easier to launch on Tron than other blockchains like Ethereum. It's very easy to launch dApps on Tron. It's not difficult. And, you know, the system's set up to make it easy for developers to launch any sort of app on there. So basically the miners they'll earn basically TRX by providing data storage space to network users, and Tron intends to be used as market model rather than a cloud model. And it's the TRX token acts as a mediator between consumers and content creators without the need for token exchanges. Okay, it was initially, as I said, an Ethereum token, but it's not anymore. It's Tron's own token, okay, on their own system. Their ecosystems basically are Tether, BitTorrent, and Polynex. And, you know, you can look up any of these chains to their blockchain, and you can see all the transactions going through and everything about their technology, which is pretty amazing, okay? They offer a suite of development tools for enabling developers to create innovative dApps, and they offer a framework that allows developers to test and deploy smart contracts via the Tron Web API. Okay, so Tron, the system is amazing. As I said, there's online nodes of about 774. They're looking at getting more and more. They've done massive amount of transactions. If you have a look at their website, massive amount of transactions, and those transactions every month are getting higher and higher, and they're getting more and more users every month. So if we look at this just from 2018, you know, just transactions at the peak, it was something like 992 million transactions. Don't know whether that, I think that's American date format, 11th of 5th 2020, which is massive, okay, absolutely massive. Which is nearly, what, 1 billion transactions. Amazing, which proves that the ecosystem is growing. The Tron ecosystem is growing. Okay, so originally the ICO was done on Ethereum, as I said. It was done at 0.00186, okay? So, and that was very cheap for what it was. They've got the infrastructure, they've got the client base, and they've got the partnerships now. And the coin's still only at 0.014 cents, okay? Which, you know, in my mind is very undervalued for what it is, given the client base and given the partnerships. Incredible. Tron, they call themselves open source protocol for the global digital entertainment industry, but again, they're doing other things as well. They bought Polynex as well, an exchange platform, and they've just issued a stable coin on Polynex as well. So again, The purchase price of Polynex, they're actually getting that monetized by the stable coin that they've just issued, okay? Tron supports various kinds of blockchain networks and smart contract systems, including Bitcoin, Ethereum, EOS Quantum, and other public blockchain smart contracts. Provides developers with multi-protocol infrastructure for entertainment app development, and allows users to enjoy smooth multi-protocol smart networks, okay? So I think it's a pretty amazing story. When they did the issue, 44% went to the project and the founders, and 55% went to the retail market, which is a good split. You'd like to see it higher than that. A lot of projects I've seen, often it's been like to the founders and project managers 60% and retail 40%. So that's not a bad split. Okay, so just some more information here. Block time is less than 3 seconds or 3 seconds. They do have staking and their own blockchain, and it's delegated proof of stake, which Ethereum is not even there yet. Okay, Ethereum's working towards that. They're not even there, right? And as I said, they had a Tron bug bounty program, and that was increased to $10 million, okay? So that hackers and black hackers, or whoever, white hackers, could see if there was any problem, find any critical issues on the network, okay? And that basically to see if there was any risk or anyone could get into the Tron network, whether, you know, they could breach security of that network, okay? And that's pretty much it. So they're aimed at discovering potential technical vulnerabilities in the mainnet, which, you know, and global network securities, right? And my understanding is they didn't actually find anything. So if we look at, you know, the project's grown significantly. They've got over 3.2 million new accounts, and oh my God, that's a spider. And they've got, you know, 1 million active dApp users, okay? So pretty amazing story when you look at exactly, you know, how far they've gone, okay? Even in 2019, Tron was second by number of dApps built on the platform, 411 compared to Ethereum of 690. Now don't forget, Ethereum's been around for a long time, right? Probably Ethereum's been around at least from, you know, 2013 or something like that, okay? So Tron's ecosystem and their strategic acquisitions have been quite amazing, I have to say. And you know what they've done, again, they've taken over Steemit as well and a few others, and we'll talk about that later as we go further into this. Their technology basically is 3 layers: application layer, storage layer, and core layer. And, you know, as I said, they have special represented full nodes as well, full nodes, special representative witness nodes, as well as Solidity nodes. And you know, their technology is built in Solidity, which is very similar to Ethereum. So pretty amazing stuff, okay? And also, as I said, they use smart contracts, Solidity. So the Sun network basically, you know, can, you know, deliver endless capacity in the sense that they keep upgrading their capacity. And, you know, in a nutshell, their fees are much lower than other blockchains as well, and they can keep adding to their blockchain, okay? The ICO did very well, and the coin has done very well over time, and you know, it's very, very liquid, and it's on a lot of exchanges, okay? A lot of exchanges. So and it has a lot of active users as well. Just going through on this, according to Mazzari, the network staking is 12.3%. That's a little bit different to other stats that I've seen, and realized annualized staking yields are 3.97%. Okay, and you know, the coin has been down over a year, but I do think it's a very undervalued coin. Okay, and their Sharpe ratio is slightly negative for the return. Okay. But since the ICO, it's done very well against Bitcoin and US dollars, okay? If you look at their developer activity, a lot of developer activity, massive amount of developer activity, 772,059 entries, which is a lot, okay? A lot. So just very quick facts. As you can see, private sale, that was all re-ICO, and that's what we've got there, okay? Let's go to the fundamental factors. Being given a score of 7.37, and these are the tokens here, okay? So if we go and have a look, we know that Tron has about 99 billion. They have circulating about 66 billion, and that the rest of that is held within the network of Tron. Okay. And if we have a look at what Mazario came out with, basically coins, there was going to be an increase in supply come 2020 at the end of December, and most of the supply came out, and that's what we've seen. Okay, they did have coin burn back in 2018, and I don't know whether there's going to be coin burn going forward. And if you look at coin market cap, basically 99.28 bill, 66 billion supply, and they always have a lot of volume. So Tron is very liquid, and they have a lot of volume, and they're on a lot of different exchanges. Okay, a lot of different exchanges. So if we look at the usability of the coin, according to Mike McCarthy, which I got this off Twitter, basically it said that Tron is doing more than Ethereum, and this is amazing given that they've only been around for about two and a half years. Okay, which means the usability, the utility of the coin is increasing every year. If you have a look at the transaction count from say 2015 right through to 20, we've got Ethereum, we've got EOS, and we've got Tron. Tron's the green one. Amazing. Okay, that's Tron there. We've got Ethereum there, so Tron's doing more than Ethereum, and EOS is up there. Okay, but Tron has got more apps than EOS. Okay, so pretty amazing stuff. And these are some of their main apps: 7.5 million for gambling, 738,000 for another gambling coin, 2.1 million, 476, 14.8 million. Okay, according to dApps radar. Now that they're incredible numbers. Okay, and don't forget they'll be using the Tron coin, TRX. Okay, amazing numbers. So if you look at just overall transactions that the exchanges are doing, again, these are incredible numbers and growing all the time. Okay, if we have a look at the exchanges that Tron's on, they're all the large ones and a lot of the Asian ones as well. Okay, so Tron has their foot in the west and in the east. Okay, and that's huge, right? There's both are huge markets, all right, for Tron. Okay, they do a lot in both markets. Don't forget, Justin Sun knows Changpeng Zhao, or CJ they call him, in CS, I should say, in Bernard's. He knows him very well. They're great friends, and he would be heavily supported. And if you have a look at their exchange, they're literally, there's something like 343 entries of exchanges. Okay, they were originally there was original investors that funded. They're up to date on their GitHub, plus their roadmap, doing lots of activity on GitHub, over 2,300 activities on GitHub, which is really good if we compare it to EOS of 10. Now that could be also a function that EOS has had a lot of problems with their technology. Okay, a lot of problems. So that's fairly high for GitHub activity, and that could be a negative, not a positive. If we look at Ethereum, again, Ethereum's doing a lot of work because it's going to proof of stake, so obviously you'd expect a lot of GitHub entries for Ethereum. And if you look at XRP, which I compare that to a Tron, 3411, which is comparable to Tron. If we look at competitors of Tron, there are a lot of competitors, in blockchain and non-blockchain. You could even say that Facebook's a competitor in non-blockchain. But in terms of blockchain, it'd be all the other platforms and smart contracts, NeoWaves, Ethereum, EOS, even XRP for that matter. Also, all these different smart contract platforms, according to Mazario. So there's quite a lot of competitors, even Neo for one, and Tezos, Cardano, Ethereum Classic, Ontology, VeChain. They've all got smart contracts. There are lots of competitors, we know that. But the thing is, Tron is fairly cheap, even though it's a lot of supply. Okay, it is cheap. There's no doubt about it in terms of valuation. If we look at the high correlation of Tron compared to other cryptocurrencies, has a fairly high correlation between XRP and EOS and Cardano and Litecoin, according to this. Lower correlation with these, and much lower correlation with other sectors, and that's exactly what you'd expect. If you look at this reference here, they've got a fair value on TRX at 0.0174. If you look at this reference here, you can see price predictions for Tron going forward, and they're talking about prices, if their predictions are right, anything between 10 cents to $1 and more by 2025. Okay, which is very impressive. If you look at where the price of other competitors are within smart contracts, you know where Ethereum is at 188, EOS 242, Tesos 248, Stellar, Cardano. So Tron, TRX is cheap compared to its other competitors, okay, in terms of looking at what they do. Also, if you compare their volatility, again, Tron's volatility going down here, you know, is around 11.21, probably a little bit higher than some, but if we compare it to an Aeon or, you know, say XRP, it is higher than XRP, but close to Neo, for example. And if we look at the company and team, I think it's very, very impressive. Now, Justin Sun is the founder of Tron, and he was the founder of Call Me PYO app as well. And essentially, this guy is a millennium. He's amazing. He's under 30. He's a protege of the Chinese tycoon Jack Ma, who was the chairman of Alibaba Group and set up Alibaba Group. He also went to that Chinese university of Jack Ma's. He's got incredible background, master's degree at the University of Pennsylvania. He's extremely well connected. He knows all the super rich in China. He knows CZ from Binance really well. He basically, he's got 1 foot in the West and 1 foot in China. And seriously, he apparently has been twice voted as the most influential Asian under 30, okay? And honestly, to get that sort of vote is extremely significant, all right? So this fellow is a man of success and will continue to be. Whether you like Justin Sun or whether you don't, whether you believe in the FUDD, the writing is on the board. You know, he's done what he said he was going to do with the testnet. You know, not like Cardano, you know, Charles Hoskinson, you know, Shelley has been delayed and delayed and delayed. These guys, Justin Sun and his people, got their mainnet on and operating, and they're making revenue, and they've got clients already, okay, in less than 2.5 years. As far as I'm concerned, the facts are there. You cannot deny it, all right? You know, this person gets things done, and he's got an amazing track record. Whether you like the guy or not, the facts are there, right? Basically, he was the founder of PO app. He was voted in Forbes twice, apparently, for the most incredible person under the age of 30. He was a former representative, chief representative of Greater China for Ripple. Again, in Forbes 2017, a protege of Jack Ma, and just a global shaper, as that says, right? I think he's pretty amazing, okay? You know, this guy, for his age, is unbelievable, all right? And you can see his resume on LinkedIn. You know, he's got all his qualifications there. Lucian Chin isn't there anymore. He's gone to his own business. But if you look at Tron, they're employing more and more people, and they've got amazing skill set. Very, very good team as far as I'm concerned. They continue to employ more people. Most people are operating out of the US, in the US. In San Francisco, all their lead developers have got very, very good experience. This fellow, Tron obviously, but IBM, Barclay Card US, great degrees, master degrees, that sort of thing. They're looking for more clients, more developers, and, you know, blockchain engineers, developers, that sort of thing, all going to be employed in San Francisco. They're looking at San Francisco, so they're increasing that head office there. Again, just some of the people I've looked at, they've all got the right experience, okay? They've all got the right experience. So the team looks pretty good. They're basically buying their skills in-house, and their team's growing. Now, their partnerships, they've got partnerships with China, Netflix, Gifto, China's Snapchat, Obike, and online gaming platforms, each with over 10 million users. Again, excuse me, as I said, they've taken over BitTorrent. They've also now put their apps on Samsung, which is amazing. Okay, now Samsung's huge, all right? Samsung has 213 million people using their phones, okay? And Tron have put their apps on Samsung. Now, don't forget, when Engine put their apps on Samsung, Engine's coin went from 5 cents to about 19 cents, and I think it's back at 14 cents. So when Tron put their apps on Samsung, the coin barely did anything, and that's just stupid because, you know, this is fundamental analysis, and this is an amazing opportunity for Tron, okay? An amazing opportunity. They partner with BitGill, which is a gaming platform. Also, Tron, obviously, as you know, bought BitTorrent, which was a great acquisition. They bought Polynex. They've launched their own initial exchange offering coin called JST. That did very well. And basically, they're monetarizing all their assets. So they're basically getting their acquisitions for nothing, okay? Also setting up a collateralized lending platform to bring DeFi to TRX, which is exactly what MakerDAO did. The network is growing all the time. They've got more and more clients, more and more things. This other business, blockchain cuties, has just done their platform with Tron. They believe that Tron is a growing business, and it looks great. So there's lots of partnerships, okay? If you look at their dApps, they're the second in front of Ethereum's in front, but Ethereum's been around for a long time, okay? They're doing more than EOS, more than Neo, more than Waves, Ontology, all those other ones, okay? Doing much more. If you look at their active users, you've got Tron being the green, which is here, and Tron here. Amazing story, okay? Amazing story. And they have a lot of users on their platforms, okay? And here's some latest figures, right? So, you know, they're, again, moving quickly ahead of EOS, all right? So I think it's a terrific story. And as I said before, they've launched their own stable coin, TRX backed stable coin, known simply as USDJ. And that sold out, according to Justin Sun, within 5 minutes, all right? It sold out within 5 minutes. They've also got derivatives. And this blockchain announcement with Samsung Galaxy is huge on the 27th of April. Absolutely huge. Now, if you look at Samsung's figures, you know, they're shipping millions and millions of units of Samsungs everywhere. 58 million, okay? You know, in the last quarter. Quarter 3, 2019, 69 million. Okay, things have slowed down because of the coronavirus, but these are huge figures, right? If we look at the number of smartphones and mobile users in the world, I've seen figures of 3.5 billion, but I've seen figures up to 4 point something billion. In China, about 90% of people use phones. That's my understanding. If you look at the figures, 213 million shipped global shipments. This is Samsung figures. 30% of the market they have, and growing all the time. So it is a great opportunity for Tron. There's no doubt about it, okay? Tron has more active addresses than Ethereum, 350,000. If you look at this, they're increasing their market share in China. They're in the right place. I mean, they're in the West and they're in the East, okay? And they've just done something with Opera web browser, add support for Bitcoin and Tron for e-commerce integration. So they've got lots of clients and growing in the East and the West. They've done acquisitions, as you know, the Tron wallet, but also BitTorrent and blockchain gaming fund. They paid 126 million for BitTorrent, which was fabulous. Neo wanted to pay another 50 million more. And, you know, again, he monetized this with BTT, the cryptocurrency coin for BitTorrent. You know, some say he's lucky, but in my mind, he's just smart, okay? So, again, he acquired BitTorrent. He's acquired CoinPlay, Polynex, DLive. Acquisition at the time had 3.5 million monthly users. Steam it. And he's got organic growth as well as, you know, acquisition growth, okay? So, amazing story, I have to say. So, you know, and he's monetized, as I said, okay? So, lots going on there. If you look at their social media, 500,000, more than 500,000 on Twitter, 74,000 on Telegram, 2,500 commits, Reddit, 72,000 on Facebook, nearly, what's that, crikey, 967,000 people. That's a lot of people, okay? And on LinkedIn, 26,000. Web traffic is very high every month, over 1 million a year. Very well known in the media. Huge profile, huge social media following. Again, you know, lots of news about everything. Okay, if we look at the SWOT analysis, huge media following, great market, extremely well known, doing more transactions, doing more dApps compared to EOS, more nodes, technology, excellent GitHub, acquiring market share in the West and the East on many exchanges, very liquid, doing 1,000 transactions to 2,000 a second. Annual inflation rate for this supply of coin is less than 1%, so there's no new release of coins. Weaknesses, lots of competitors, but Tron's doing extremely well. Does have a lot of supply, but I don't see that as being a problem going forward because I'll use that supply. Opportunities, more acquisitions, growing their market in the east and the west. Threats are someone could do it better, but I think Tron is doing it really, really well, okay? I looked at Tron 3 years ago and I had the same story. I think it's a buy. I'm bullish. Same today. I think it's a very undervalued asset. I think it's a very undervalued business, and I think Jason Sun is very undervalued. Excellent team, huge client bases, a lot of growth. They've got their own mainnet, growing all the time, revenue, account increasing, generation. This thing to me is cheap. It could easily go higher than where it is. They've got the right strategy in the east and the west, and I do believe Justin Sun is a genius, not just lucky, okay? So in my mind, this is a great story. Thank you. Not financial advice. This is my own perspective. You've got to look at your own risk management. I'm not a financial advisor. You've got to look at your risk and what you can afford and that sort of thing, and your age and all that sort of thing. But for me, I like this very much. Thank you. And there's my disclaimer, guys. I'm not a financial advisor.